Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, Miss. My name is Aulia with name 332100072. And today I would like to present the material of the second project of classroom management. But before I start the presentation, I want to make a disclaimer that my PowerPoint I think it's kind of too full of explanation. So maybe some of my camera will hide the explanation. So the clear PowerPoint, I will put it on the description on the YouTube. You can check it if you want to. Okay, so without any further ado, let's move to the first slide. So the first material is about teaching tolerance. Teaching is the most important profession, not only because it gives rise to all other professions, but also because of the direct impact teachers have on the future of the world. The goal of teachers everywhere is to prepare their students with the skills needed to experience future success, which this means that teachers must intentionally teach them skills to communicate and collaborate with people from a variety of backgrounds and cultures. With the rapid transformation of the education system and its adaptation to modern requirement of society, the problem of teacher preparation for professional activity is becoming more and more important. In connection with the future multifunctional activity, participation in the development of the education, science, production, spiritual life of society, the problem of qualitative preparation of higher pedagogical educational establishments, graduates is of particularly important. The role and authority of the teacher is characterized not only by the knowledge the imparts to his students, but also by his personal influence on each individual and a group he is responsible for. So teachers' leading skills comprise to the ability to build relationship, organize teamwork, organize a democratic debate where everyone can express themselves freely without implying it to others, instill confidence and teach to respect each other and to be a good listener. The main purpose of civic and moral education of school children in France is to cultivate the following values of the French Republic: freedom, equality, brotherhood, secularity, solidarity, and a spirit of justice, respect, and the absence of any form of discrimination. I got it from the school at the French. I read the journal, so I think it's relevant to the material, so I will put it here. And next, tolerance is a moral value that should be taught to students. The introduction into the school program of a common core of knowledge, skills, and culture aimed at educating a person able to live in a free, tolerant society necessitates appropriate training for future teachers who can promote tolerance in students. Preparing future teachers to teach tolerance is an urgent need of the French teacher educational system. Okay, so we're gonna move to the next slide, and the next material. The next material is about helping students handle anger, frustration, and aggression. Anger management is a process, method, and action to control, organize, and regulate emotion. This state by Nordman, 2022. When someone is angry, physical mechanisms change and have hormonal agents automatically released by our bodies. When you are angry, your brain releases a chemical called acetylcholine. This chemical functions as a neutron transmitter. This state by Kabasaka, 2013. So next, anger is often a weapon for all creators to defend their lives through the most natural way of mechanism, namely attacking other animals who are bullies or threats. No exception to a teacher also has the means of anger like other living. However, teachers have more diverse causes of anger, not just physical traits, low self-esteem, unrealized expectation, persistent feelings of hostility are also things that often lead to anger. This was stated by Mertoglu, 2018, and Jannah 2021. The success of educational activities, on the other hand, is greatly dependent on the abilities and performance of educators. Educators who can effectively regulate their emotions will be able to optimize the learning process and achieve their educational objective. This was stated by Shah 2020 and Hidayat 2022. How excellent and complete are the facilities and infrastructure, the media curriculum of technological resources that are so sophisticated. All of that cannot run well without being accompanied by the performance of educators, including in holding back anger. This state this was stated by Arifin 2021 and Wahid et al. 2021. As a result, attempts to increase the quality of learning by enhancing the ability to manage emotion are required, as this is a measure of a teacher's success in carrying out the learning process. This was stated by Purwanto et al. 2020 and Kusumawati 2021. When you feel angry, harsh words that can hurt your heart are often thrown that can be liked to match. This was a state by Maulidia 2022. If you light the match near flammable objects, a fire may occur. When angry and harsh words come out, the person being schooled may also get angry. As a result, the atmosphere is getting hotter and the problem is getting out of control. This was a state by Gundokdu 2018. So, the conclusion is teacher should carry out various steps as follow. First, analysis the causes of the problem. Second, personal approach and place oriented. Third, reflection. The three stages are carried out in a structured and systematic manner in improving teacher performance using anger management. The limitation of the research carried out by researcher and realized that there are still shortcomings. Still, the researchers tried their best to conduct this research. It is hoped that there will be further research to complement this research on sustainable professional development for teachers and other educators. Okay, so next we're going to the next material. This is the last material. The material is about disruptive behavior. Disruptive behavior in schools has been a source of concern for school system for several years. Indeed, the single most common request for assistance from teachers is related to behavior and classroom management. This was stated by Rose and Gallup 2005. Classrooms with frequent disruptive behaviors have less academic engaged time, and the students in disruptive classroom tend to have lower grades and do poorer on standardized tests. This was a state by Shin, Ramsey, Walker, Stieber, and O'Neill in 1987. Furthermore, attempts to control disruptive behavior cost considerable teacher time at the expense of academic instruction. Effective classroom management focuses on preventive rather than reactive procedures and establishes a positive classroom environment in which the teacher focuses on students who behave appropriately. This was stated by Lewis and Segai, 1999. Okay, so next there is our rules and routines are powerful. Preventative components to classroom organization and management plans because they establish the behavioral context of the classroom by specifying what is expected, what will be reinforced, and what will be retaught if inappropriate behavior occurs. This prevent problem behavior by giving students specific, appropriate behaviors to engage in. Monitoring student behavior allows the teacher to acknowledge students who are engaging in appropriate behavior and prevent misbehavior from escalating. School discipline issues, such as disruptive behavior and violence, also have an increased effect on teacher stress and burnout. This was stated by Smith and Smith, 2009. There is a significant body of research attesting to the fact that classroom organization and behavior management competencies significantly influence the persistence of new teachers in their teaching careers. Effective classroom management is also related to prevent efforts. Children's behavior is shaped by the social context of the environment during the developmental processes. This was stated by Kaufman, 2005. So this is the continue of the material. So many behavioral disorders begin with or are made worse through behavioral processes such as modeling, reinforcement, extinction, and punishment. This was stated by Kaufman, 2005, Peterson, Reid, edition, 1992. The classroom context play a significant role in emergence and persistence of aggressive behavior. The components of the effective classroom management are important in several ways. For example, focusing on preventive rather than reactive procedure establish a positive classroom environment in which the teacher focuses on students who appropriately behave. This was stated by Lewis and Sugai, 1999. This prevents problem behaviors by giving students specific appropriate behavior to engage in. Monitoring student behavior allows the teacher to acknowledge students who are engaging in appropriate behavior and prevent misbehavior from escalating. This was stated by Calvin et al. 1993. Okay, so I think that's all for the material, and now we're gonna move to the problem solving. So I'm gonna read the first problem. So the first problem is Miss Johnson is a fifth grade teacher who has been teaching for over 10 years. This year she has a student named Alex who frequently display aggressive behavior. Alex often interrupts lessons, talk back to the teacher, and sometimes even becomes physically aggressive towards his classmate. Miss Johnson has tried various strategies to manage Alex's behavior, such as setting clear rules and consequences, positive reinforcement for good behavior, and speaking with Alex privately to understand the root of his aggression. However, despite her efforts, Alex's behavior has not improved significantly. So the question is, what classroom management techniques can Ms. Johnson implement to address Alex's aggressive behavior? Provide at least 3 specific strategies and explain how each one could help improve the situation. Okay, so the answer, the analysis that I have read the slide. To address Alex's aggressive behavior, Miss Johnson can implement several classroom management techniques. Firstly, she can utilize the break it down strategy, where she breaks down complex tasks into smaller, manageable steps, allowing Alex to sense of accomplishment and reducing frustration that may trigger aggression. Secondly, she can employ the visual reminders technique, creating visual cues such as or poster to remind Alex of expected behavior, providing a constant reminder of classroom rules and expectation. Lastly, Ms. Johnson can implement restorative circles, a strategy that encourages students to reflect on their actions and their impact on others, promoting empathy and accountability, and helping Alex to develop self-regulation skills and take responsibility for his behavior. By incorporating these strategies, Ms. Johnson can create a more structured and supportive learning environment, helping to reduce Alex's aggressive behavior and improve all overall classroom dynamics. Next, the second problem. The second problem is Mr. Smith, a 7th grade math teacher who has noticed that several students in his class frequently engage in tests of behavior during lessons. The student after daydream, chat with classmates, and or use their phone instead of focusing on their work. Despite Mr. Smith's attempt to redirect their attention and provide engaging activities, the problem persists. This off-text behavior is disrupting the learning environment and affecting the overall performance of the class. The question, what strategies can Mr. Smith use to increase on-text behavior and decrease off-text behavior? Provide at least three specific strategies and explain how each one could help address the issue. Okay, so to solve this problem is to increase on-text behavior and decrease off-text behavior. Mr. Smith can employ several strategies. I'm sorry. Firstly, he can implement the choice-based learning approach, where students are given autonomy to choose the method or product of their learning, allowing them to take ownership and increasing their engagement. Secondly, Mr. Smith can use the proximity control technique, where he strategically positions himself near students who tend to engage in off-text behavior, providing subtle reminders and redirection without disrupting the entire class. Lastly, he can incorporate self-monitoring strategies where students are encouraged to track and reflect on their own behavior, setting personal goals and identifying areas for improvement, thereby developing self-regulation skills and promoting on-task behavior. By incorporating these strategies, Mr. Smith can create a more student-centered and engaging learning environment, reducing off-text behavior and improving overall academic performance. Okay, next, the third and also the last problem. The problem is Mrs. Brown is an 8th grade English teacher who is facing challenges with a student named Jake. Jake frequently exhibits disruptive behavior in class, such as talking out of turn, making inappropriate comments, and distracting other students. Despite Mrs. Brown's attempt to manage the behavior through verbal warnings and setting change, Jake's behavior has not improved. This disruptive behavior is affecting the learning environment and making it difficult for other students to concentrate on their work. So the question is, what specific strategies can Miss Brown implement to manage the disruptive behavior? Provide at least three strategies and explain how each could help address this issue. Okay, so the analysis is to manage Jake's disruptive behavior, Mrs. Brown can implement several strategies. First, she can utilize the nonverbal cueing technique, where she uses subtle nonverbal signal, such as hand gesture or facial expression, to redirect Jake's behavior without embarrassing him in front of his peers. Secondly, Mrs. Brown can employ the behavioral contract approach, where she collaborates with Jack to establish clear expectation and consequences for his behavior, providing a sense of accountability and encouraging him to take responsibility for his actions. And lastly, she can incorporate positive reinforcement strategies where she acknowledges and rewards Jack's positive behavior, such as active participation or respectful interaction, thereby encouraging him to exhibit more desirable behaviors and reducing disruption in the classroom. By implementing these strategies, Mrs. Brown can create a more structured and supportive learning environment, minimizing Jack's disruption and promoting a more focused and productive class. And I think that's enough for me for the explanation of the material and the problem solving. I hope you can get it well. Thank you so much for listening and have a great day.